March's National News Literacy Week comes to an end. We wanted to share how we here at Fox 17 have been forced to pivot during this pandemic and the way that we gather information in the community and produce our newscasts to bring you, our viewers, fair, accurate, and trustworthy news.
Our ALYSSA HEARIN joining us with a look behind the scenes. Hey, ALYSSA.
Hey, good morning. Well, like the rest of the world, back in early March of last year, we had to adjust the way we operate in order to continue bringing you all the news, whether it be going live from our homes like this or the anchors standing 6 feet apart in the studio.
It became very apparent to me as I talked to my boss, the general manager of this television station, and also the people that I advise with at our corporate level, that we needed to work to transition to a different way of doing news that we had never done before.
And within a matter of days, at-home studios were popping up in the living rooms of our Fox 17 reporters and anchors.
Our viewers were then relying on us more than ever. They needed to know what was going on and what was happening.
And a lot was happening.
We had to deal with, on top of the pandemic, which is the biggest story of our lifetime right now, I think, but also having to deal with the Black Lives Matter protests to, the storming of our state capitol and the kidnapping plot against our governor, and protests all over the state against the coronavirus restrictions that were in place, to the election, and Michigan being a major swing state in the election.
And with this unprecedented year of news, communication has been vital. Once a full newsroom, now merely empty.
It was important for us to communicate as much as possible, because when we normally there are 82 people in this department, and at any given time we had 3 to 6 people in this newsroom. And that's not normal for us. I'm accustomed to standing up and saying things to people outside my door. Do we have this? Are we reporting this?
On top of that, we've been constantly working to make sure our news is depicting the truth.
There are so many things right now that are designated as true when really they are somebody's opinion. Right now, we really have to take a moment and stop and digest what we're hearing as journalists, and make sure that we go through the process of verifying facts.
Making sure that not only our stories are factual, but showing all angles.
So on top of everything else that we've been dealing with in 2020, really we've hit a point where both sides of the political aisle distrust the media. And in some cases, that makes it really difficult for us to get both sides of a story, but it is so important now more than ever to get both sides of it, because we are dealing with a community and environment of people that are more skeptical now of the news than they've ever been before.
But overall,
I feel deep in my heart that we've done the best that we can to make sure that during these tough times that we have told the story completely to the best that we could, and made sure that we had all opinions heard.
In the long run, we're all going to come out of this past year as much stronger journalists, just because we have forced to find new ways to do our job. And I think in the end, that just gives us more tools for doing our job more effectively.
And tonight at 7 p.m., we will have a 30-minute special to wrap up our News Literacy Week coverage on our Fox 17 OTT app, with additional interviews as well as some student-produced stories from those students we caught up with in Rockford earlier this week. So make sure you check that out once again at 7 o'clock tonight on our Fox 17 OTT app. And we just want to give a big thank you to all of our viewers for inviting us into your homes every single day and trusting us to bring you accurate news, and just sharing your stories and letting you know and keeping you informed what's going on in our community. Mike, Deanna, back to you guys.
There you go.
It's interesting
to see it summed up, right?
It really is.